So, today's lesson is on the Beast of Bray Road, a cryptid-type creature from North America that first appeared in 1936. It's a one-of-a-kind, sort of lycanthropic creature that has caused a great deal of speculation on its true nature, being that it has appeared so very recently as even the 1990s. The fact that it exists in the mundane world, and has eyewitness accounts of it, makes it a formidable opponent in that it has been able to overcome the masquerade, to borrow a turn of phrase, and anything that can be said to exist in the mundane world and also be considered a legendary creature has a great deal of power behind it. You students may wish to summon it with the Unearthed Arcana spell Summon Warrior Spirit, using a 3rd level spell slot or higher, but replace the material component gilded playing card depicting a knight with a paperback copy of Linda S. Godfrey's book, The Beast of Bray Road, Tailing Wisconsin's Werewolf. Since this is almost impossible for you to get your hands on unless you have access to retail products from the mundane world, it's rare that you'd run into the BBR, and even less likely that you'd summon it on accident. But if you were able to get a hold of the paperback book somehow in your realm or here in Teme, then you'd probably pay almost double the 300 gold price for it. The subject matter of the book, plus its depiction of the creature itself, will cause the spell's focus to move away from the traditional warrior spirit you might summon from the legendary creature, sort of deck of many things thing, and hone in on the subject of today's lecture. Now, the beast is bad news for your enemies who are vulnerable to being killed violently. So, many things. Mundane world reports of encounters say that its claws can rend through metal, and it can match speeds with moving vehicles, as well as resist being crashed into with a car at full speed. It doesn't seem to have the preference for darkness that most mundane cryptid types have, as it's been seen in broad daylight multiple times as well. Now, the truth of the matter is that as a lycanthrope, the BBR is graced with some recognizable aspects, but it also lacks some others. For one, it's a wolf-human hybrid at best, and a wolf other times. Nobody's seen a humanoid-only version of it, or seen it sort of change its shape, so it must be assumed that summoning it will get you at least 50% of a wolf. It is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks that are not silvered, which is pretty standard, and its own senses are heightened thanks to its lupine nature. Additionally, it has a much higher strength than a normal werewolf, and it is much faster too, but it comes at the cost of intelligence. It can't speak, and we're not entirely sure it understands language apart from the magical commands that you would give it as part of the summoning process. Since it is a creature that breaks the masquerade, it also seems to command the ability to cause fear around it locally, something which you should prepare to weather if it invokes this power near you. You may be its temporary master, but it's never going to consider you the leader of its pack, as it were. If you've got a 3rd level spell slot and want to conjure up something nasty that isn't a lesser demon, and one which can pass through the masquerade veil in the mundane world for whatever nefarious purposes you may have in mind, you might try to get a copy of that paperback for this purpose. You can find the stat block for this creature on my Ko-fi link if you'd like to have a modern-ish cryptid in your back pocket.